So this is going to be a short little video to show you how I make my initial stamp that I've been adding to my pieces. And it's fiddly, but not too difficult to do, and won't really cost you anything, so probably worth doing. So you can see here in the corner where I've added this stamp here and then antiqued it with paint. So it's quite effective. And on this necklace, I don't know if the lighting's going to show, but anyways, I stamped my initial stamp in there. So anyways, we'll go ahead with it. And I have mine in two different styles. I've got just a little stamp that I put on a piece of scrap, and I'll show you how to make it in a minute, but I'm going to demonstrate what it does. Mine, I find I have to roll it a little bit back and forth to get a good impression. My T misses a little bit, so let's try that again. And then that's a good impression. And then I've tried this style, which I really like. It's a little harder to figure out where you're putting it. I put it on a bead sort of shaped into a barrel and glued it onto orange stick. And let's see which way we have to go on here. So I just roll it across, and you can roll it back and forth as many times as you want, and you've got a good impression. So I've done that in a couple different sizes as an experiment. So once you get it where you want, and you just roll it back and forth to get as deep an impression as you want. So I kind of like that one. I think it's pretty cool. So if, you know, it's if I have something way bigger, like a journal or something, I might want to have a bigger initial stamp. So anyways, let's get on with this. I printed out on the computer some samples of letters and arranged them in the configuration that I wanted. If you can just go ahead and let's do that on another sheet here. You can just, you know, if you decide you want well, let's get a pen that works here. If you want, say, a C and an S, that you know, so you just go ahead and draw out what you want. C and an S, or you know, whatever your initials are. You can play around with it. But I found with the computer it wasn't too bad. I just did one letter at a time, put it where I wanted, loaded up another letter, made it the right scale, and put it higher, lower, wherever I wanted it until I got a configuration that I liked. So I'll demonstrate on this one. So I'm just going to use a bit of scrap clay and just a wee bit of black clay, and just make a little snake. And this, the thinner you make it, the more delicate your stamp is going to be. For demonstration purposes, I think I won't go too thin, because all you're going to see is my hand when I'm trying to put this together, but we'll see how it goes. It doesn't take that long to do. I'll just chop off the sharp edge. And then what I'm going to do is put a piece of wax paper or patty paper or tracing paper, something over top of it so I can see my letters. And just start. So you're going to use a dotting tool to help you, or metal, you know, any kind of metal tools or whatever to help it get a place. But I like a dotting tool. It works pretty good. So I'm just going to follow my little letter here. Yeah, we're going to make that a little skinnier because these letters are a little bit too small. So like I say, it's very fiddly, but doable. So on mine, I'm going to encourage the P to come around, chop it off. If you have to overlap it, it's fine. You can overlap it on this side, because at the end of this, we're going to flip this over, and the overlaps won't show. Oops, that's my finger in the way. Okay, so I'm going to set that one aside, because you're going to arrange it and fiddle with it a little bit more after. So let's make an R. So I'm not working for too much. I'm going to just chop off a bit. So I'm just going to, right now I'm just going to leave my ends longer than I want, and then I'll cut them to fit. And then I'll bring the P back where I want it. Place the R back where I want it. I want it just touching that P. Lost my P. Okay, let's tuck that back in there. Okay, then we'll make the T. You guys that only have 2 initials, you'll be through this way faster than me. So I'll start with the long end. Okay, let's get that back there. I've done this on like a clear plastic as well, and the letters will stick better. They'll stay in place as you're doing them, but then they don't release as well. So, you know, it's just kind of a bit of a issue to work out. So now I'm going to move that T up where I want it. And just lightly pat it with a piece of paper. And then I'm going to take my scrap clay, and I'll just make one of these press ones. So that's a fairly big configuration, so I need a fair bit of space here. And it needs to be kind of flat, but the edges have to be rounded so that you don't leave hard edges when you impress your stamp. And then the end of it can be any way you want, whatever's comfortable for you to hold. And you can cover this afterwards with a pretty cane or make it look nice. And then I'm going to take a little TLS and smear the top with that. You just want that good and sticky. These pieces off of here. So then when you've got that, now the letters are reversed so that when you stamp it, they'll be the right way for you. You can spend quite a bit of time with your dotting tool and open up those letters and arrange them the way you like. Stretch them out a wee bit. And that's it. That's your initial stamp done. If you're going to do it on a stick like this to roll it, you just take a ball, make it sort of into a barrel shape, and put your skewer through it. You probably will have to take it out later and glue it in place, because you don't want any movement in this. Try not to roll it too much because it makes the hole too big. But that's basically it. And then you would just apply your letters the same way. Put your TLS on it and take your paper, bring your letters to your piece, and bake it like that. Take that out afterwards and put some, I used Gorilla Glue on this one. So when you use these, moisten them a little bit with water, and that'll help them release, and you've made yourself an initial stamp and didn't really cost you anything. So have fun with that, and I'm working on ring dish for next time, and we'll see you then. Bye.